Hey everyone, this is Zelda from TNZ Apartment Life, and welcome back to the channel. Tony says hello, and he's outside looking for deer. I am in here, and I'm going to share with you in this video steps I use to lose almost 60 pounds using intermittent fasting. I have some notes that I took that are right in front of me, so if you see me looking down, it's just that I'm looking at that so that I can stay on track and not have this video be too long. Just starting any type of health program, you want to consult with your healthcare provider. Make sure that you do that first. But what is intermittent fasting? It is an eating plan that switches between fasting and eating on a regular schedule. When I first started intermittent fasting, actually, I'll tell you that in just a minute. I don't want to throw this off. It's a way to manage your weight and prevent or even reverse some forms of disease. And intermittent fasting focuses on when you eat, not necessarily in what you eat. It's the eating window that you choose. Take this one off here. Okay. With intermittent fasting, after hours without food, the body exhausts its sugar stores and starts to burn fat. And that's where you start to lose weight. So that's exciting. If I just say IF, that's intermittent fasting. IF is in contrast with the normal eating pattern of most Americans who eat throughout their waking hours. When I wasn't using intermittent fasting, as soon as I got up, I got something to eat. I started with coffee, loaded it with sugar, loaded it with cream or sweeteners. And then I'd have some eggs and bacon and toast and jelly. And I had everything. Things that it was just, I ate. And, for someone who's eating like 3 meals a day plus snacks, they're not exercising, then every time they eat, they're running on those calories and not burning their fat. And not burning their fat stores. Intermittent fasting works by prolonging the period when your body has burned through calories consumed during your last meal and begins burning fat. So there are a number of type of plans, and there's different ways that it can be done. But like I said, check with your healthcare provider before starting any. I chose intermittent fasting. Initially, it was 14 hours of fasting, 10-hour eating window. And there are different plans, but once you've picked a plan, what I want you to do is stick with it. Okay. I am currently on an OMAD plan, 1 meal a day. And in that meal, I'll share with you what I eat. But I started with the 14-10. What can I eat? Well, let me tell you what you eat during your fasting window. 0, nothing. You drink water, get your little glass, drink some water, get a bottle, get a pitcher, whatever works. But, you can drink water, you can drink 0-calorie beverages, coffee or tea with nothing in it, or 0-calorie sweetener. You can use just start with that. Stick with that. I'll talk about my coffee in just a moment too. Eating times, you eat foods that are nutritious, and you eat hopefully a normal balanced diet. Doesn't mean that you go crazy during that eating window. You don't want to consume everything you can get in your mouth in an 8-hour period that you would normally eat in the entire day that you're awake and would normally eat 3 meals a day. So if you have a 10-hour window, you should have somewhere like maybe 2 meals in there. And they should be smaller. but I'm not going there. We're just gonna just talk a little bit. Okay, let me see what I'm going to do. I'm going to share some tips with you and what I ate using intermittent fasting, and we'll go from there. Ta-da! Okay. Tip number 1, know your reason for fasting or choosing intermittent fasting. Is it because you're going to an event where you want to lose some weight? Is it that you're just overweight and you want to lose weight? Do you want to have more energy and be more active? Whatever your reason is, keep that in front of you, because that is what's going to help you and sustain you as you're going through this process. Number 2, start slow. Find an intermittent IF schedule and stick to it. So if you say, I'm going to start intermittent fasting on Monday, and you choose a eating window of 8 hours, an eating window, and 16 hours of fasting. I had to count there. Okay, yes. So for the 16 hours that you're fasting, you have water, you have 0-calorie drinks, unsweetened tea, unsweetened coffee, or coffee with some stevia. I don't like stevia personally, so I use Splenda or Equal. And just begin slow. Don't try to eat the whole elephant at one time. So work on just getting fluids in. And during that eating window, try to stick as closely to it as you can. And if you make a mistake, I'll mention this later, but get right back on the horse. Get back. Okay. One thing I didn't stress is letting your tummy rest. You don't have to drink or eat anything. Let your stomach learn to not have anything in it. That's part of fasting. Also, another way to start slow with intermittent fasting, you want to try to get a good night's sleep. I personally do not sleep well with a full stomach, so I don't like to eat. And when I first started the intermittent fasting, I made sure that I did not have anything to eat at least a minimum of 4 hours before going to bed. And if I was hungry, like Dr. Fung says, don't do it. Drink some water. I drink water. Water, 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 water. Your tummy gets fooled sometimes thinking that you're hungry, and it's really that you're thirsty. Okay, let me see. Set a goal for no foods at least 4 hours before going to bed. I just said that. Work on getting a good night's sleep. Don't overeat during your eating window. If you choose the 16-8 schedule, then during your 8-hour period, the first hour of your eating, go ahead and have a small meal. Sometimes getting yourself a smaller plate works. When I started my program, I used a smaller green plate, a bowl. Tony would laugh, because he didn't laugh, he didn't like it, because his steak would be too much, it would fall off of the plate. Me, I wanted to make sure whatever I ate fit in that plate, and then that was enough. So I did that. Vegetables cruciferous type vegetables, lettuce, cucumber, greens, leafy greens, all those. I don't count calories with vegetables. I just try to eat as much as I can because they are filling. But don't overeat. I have my OMAD plate, which is my dinner plate that you've seen probably in some of the pictures of my food. That is my one meal a day. I try to keep my main meal on that plate and not to heap it over. So if the plate is right here, the meal shouldn't be all up here like that. It's just a regular serving of food. Number 5. So number 4 was don't overeat. 3, work on getting sleep. Number 5, surround yourself with supportive people. My husband is extremely supportive of anything that I venture out to do. And he's so proud that I've lost as much weight as I have, almost 60 pounds. He says, you don't need to lose any more. I do. I feel that I do. I have some more to lose, but I am thankful that I'm surrounded by supportive people. My son is very supportive, and he's actually doing some intermittent fasting, even though he doesn't realize he's doing it. And he's lost, he's down below 200 pounds. Michael was over 250 pounds a couple of years ago. So he is doing great. Okay, number 6, don't listen to everyone's opinions. Now, when I first started my weight loss journey, not intermittent fasting, but it ended up being intermittent fasting about 4 years ago using keto. And even here, people would tell me, oh, that's not safe. I want you to check with your doctor. But when I checked with my doctor was like, I don't think that's not great. Eating one meal a day, no, that's not healthy. You need to make sure you're eating several times, 3 times a day. Plenty of fruits and vegetables and grains. No, that did not work for me. And that was my doctor. So you can't listen to everyone. Some people they mean well by what they say, but they may not realize how hurtful some things are that come out of their mouths. And sometimes you just have to avoid those people or tell them, I really appreciate what you have said, but I've got this. I'm doing okay. Thank you. I thank you for your opinion. And move along. Let it go and out. Don't let it stick with you, because if you do, it's going to maybe throw you off your game, and that's not what you want. That's where your why comes in, and keep it in front of you. Surround yourself with supportive people. Also, which I did not write here, you want to find people who are successful in doing what you are venturing out to do. There are several people that I listen to online on YouTube, and we have become very good friends off of YouTube because we've all been in a weight loss journey from 50, 60, 100 pounds weight loss. And that's what you need to do. Find people that can give you advice or suggestions on how you can be successful. Okay, number 7, don't compare yourself to what others are doing. Everyone is different. You have people that are older, that are younger, their activity levels are different than yours. Their metabolism is different from yours. Their sex is different from yours. And all of that plays a part in how people lose weight. So don't Don't say, okay, well, Zelda lost 55 pounds and she only ate one meal a day. No, no, it didn't start that way. And I'll tell you about that in just a moment. Okay. Find things to do to keep your mind off of food. If you like to sew, if you like to read, if you like to read and you used to eat a bunch of food, uh, maybe find something else. If you go for a walk, drink a glass of water, but find things to do to keep your mind off of food because you're starting a journey that is surrounded by food or surrounded with food. So you don't want to think about it too much because then you're going to end up in the kitchen and that's not where you want to be. All right. If you think you're hungry and you keep thinking about it and you feel like you're hungry, drink a glass of water. One or two of these. Most of the time, the water actually does take away some hunger pains, but hunger pains are not going to kill you. They are annoying. Sometimes they're painful, but not severe shooting pain. It's just pains. You know what hunger pains are. Drink water. It's annoying. You won't die from them. It's just your body has got to get used to not having food constantly in it from your waking moment until you go to bed. Okay, go for a walk. Do some of the things I just talked about with find other things to keep your mind off of food. Read, talk with a friend, go shopping for a new outfit, anything. So just try to keep your mind off of food. Also, brushing your teeth, saying, okay, that's it, so that you won't go back in the kitchen, clean up the kitchen, turn the lights off and say, okay, that's it. When I started my weight loss journey years ago, I used to say kitchen closed at 6 p.m. That was it. Nope, no, didn't go in there for anything else. I didn't care. And it didn't open up until 6 a.m. But 6:01, I was in there. Okay, let me see. Oh, I talked about cleaning up the kitchen, cleaning up your bedroom if you have food in there. If you have any type of food or snacks kind of stored away, I had everything. I had a drawer of food, and I had food in the closet so that it looked like I wasn't eating a lot, but I was. Get rid of all that food that's around where you sleep so that you're not tempted. Okay. Number 9, prepare for contingencies because you will have them. Sometimes your day doesn't go as planned and you want to have something ready just in case. I like little cheese slices. They have they're little small pieces. They're 0 carbs. And I try to have something like that or a, pork rinds. I use, what is it? Meat sticks that are just no carb, 0 carb. Be careful. Oh, another thing that I forgot to mention, as you're starting your journey and you're trying to determine what you need to eat and what you want to eat, look at the nutrition value on the food. If you're trying to eat low carb, determine how many carbs you want to eat during the day and look at all the foods that you're eating and make sure that you don't go over that limit or keep it within moderation. And if you fall off the wagon, like I said earlier, get back on. Don't wait until Monday. Just do it right then. Okay. Now, tell you about me. I started my low carb high fat, moderate protein eating plan, which is keto, about 4 or 5 years ago, and I lost about 45 pounds. And in the process, I was intermittently fasting, and I didn't realize that's what I was doing, because when you eat a low carb meal, you don't tend to be as hungry. So I followed what I called my 5 finger guideline. So it was eat when you're hungry, stop when you're satisfied, drink when you're thirsty, no more than 20 grams of carbs per meal, no more than 20 grams of carbs per day. And I break up my carbs 5 to 6 grams per meal. So I was still eating 3 times a day, and then it got to be like 2 times a day, and I would still keep my carb low. And it was great. I lost 45 pounds doing that, and I was not eating that often, and I had smaller meals because I was feeling full. I missed carbs though. I really did. And so I went off of keto, and slowly, over 2 or 3 years, I gained the weight back. And I decided last February of 2022 that I was going to find something to do to lose weight. And I found intermittent fasting. And like I said, I started with a 14-10 schedule, and I drank a lot of water initially. I drank black coffee with my sweetener, stevia, and then I just couldn't stand the taste of it. I just don't like it. So I use Splenda or Equal, and I would use heavy cream. That's where I do a little bit different. For my fasting period, I allow myself heavy cream in my coffee, but not all the time. Let me see what else here. But I started adjusting my window because my goal was to eat 1 meal a day. So about a month and a half in, I changed my schedule from 14-10 to 16-8. And then I did 20 and 4. Then I did 22 and 2. And I ended up between right there and 23 and 1. 23 hours of fasting and 1 hour of an eating window. I like to eat around 1 because I don't like my stomach full, and that just has worked for me, and I'm very excited that I have stuck with this eating plan. And I hope this was helpful for you. And if you have any questions, please post them down below or send me an email, and I will do my best to answer your question as best as I can. But like I said, always check with, if you have health conditions, check with your healthcare provider to make sure that this is something, the intermittent fasting, the way you choose to do it, will work for you. But stick with it, trust the process, and see the results. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.